Coach, a dominant 50-point win in game number 1 over Alberta. What is it that you like most about the team game that you got to work on last week in training camp that really showed out in game 1 today?
Honestly, it was definitely our defense. Like, we went into training camp, we knew I had a bunch of studs who can get it done offensively. Key was whether or not they're going to buy in defensively, and obviously you see today by the end result that they 100% did.
Who's leading the effort on that defensive side of the ball for your guys?
I would probably say Shalon Beckford is probably our guy right now that's kind of getting it started on the defensive end. Great full court defender, great half court defender, just very energetic and just willing to accept whatever role we give him.
Jordan Fisher, 17 points in the contest. What did you like about his offensive possessions and decision-making on the offensive side of the ball?
You know what? Today was great. Obviously, people are very familiar with Jordan and him kind of doing work in and around the rim area. What's great about Team Ontario, it's allowed him to kind of get out on the wing and kind of show his overall skill set. And I thought he did a great job, like you said, with the decision-making. Sometimes when you give guys that freedom, they get a little carried away. But I thought Jordan played really well within the system.
There are two opposite sides of the spectrum in a tournament like this. Some really great teams that push you to be better and focus on how to get better. Some teams maybe you can focus on in-game adjustments. What did you learn about this team from Alberta, Team Ontario that is, that you need to be better for in the next game?
So in as much as our defense was good, there were some rotations that we as a coaching staff identified, and we were kind of not upset, but definitely pressing the boys on. Hard for the guys on the other side to see it, but definitely with a coaching staff who's been around the boys for a few weeks, we know what we're looking for. So we've got to tighten some things up, and that's what we've really been pressing them on.
And then offensively, what does it take to get better looks than the ones you got today, even though the ones you got today were pretty good?
It's trust. And like in our post game, we asked the boys, and they said that. The beautiful thing about this team, many of them have played together in the past, so they love each other on and off the court, which makes things a little bit easier. But at the same time, getting them to really buy in, because obviously there's a crowd, we're playing at home, so everyone's got mom, dad, friends pulling up and stuff, so that sometimes leads to some ill-advised shots, but for the most part I think we did a great job, and we're going to get better as the tournament moves on.
Well, quick turnaround, 9 a.m. tip-off tomorrow. Best of luck, Coach. Thank you so much.
Appreciate you. Thank you.
Isaiah Clarke now with me, 6 points in 13 minutes, 2 boards. It's pretty efficient still, 2 for 4 from the field. What do you think about your game this morning?
I mean, I did okay.
Who do you give Game of the Honors to from game number 1 from your Team Ontario?
Game of the Honor? I mean, I say me, man, of course. Me, yeah.
What about Jacob Wolker's performance? 12 points, 5 of 6 shooting from the field, very efficient.
Yeah, this guy's tough, yeah.
And what about the team's defense? It seems like when steals are happening, the energy on the bench goes up. And talk to me how much that energizes this team moving forward.
A lot, man. It's good.
Perfect. And any message to the Team Ontario fans cheering you on here in the home province for this Nationals?
Hey, man, I appreciate y'all, and let's go.
Coach, 100-84, you take the first game victory. You put up the century mark against Quebec. What did you like about your team's offensive game here on day number 1?
I think we were all very unselfish. We moved the ball well, especially in the first half. Defensively, we had a lot of energy, especially in that first half as well. I have to clean up some things in the second half, but in total, I think we had a very, very unselfish group today, and Jordan Charles kind of led the way with his scoring as well.
When you talk about Jordan Charles, 33 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 steals, how much do you let him get away with that gambling to get those stolen balls versus playing it safe and getting back on D first?
Yeah, he doesn't gamble too much. He has a knack of getting in the right places, getting in lanes, being able to pickpocket other guards. So we kind of let him do his thing in that regard, and it helped us definitely today. But he's gonna be the catalyst for us defensively, and as you can see, offensively as well. So he's a leader. He's getting guys in the right places, and that's what we're expecting for him out of him. Sorry.
What was the biggest thing you were trying to get into these guys during training camp, and how did that play out on the floor today?
Defensively, we really want to hang our hat on the defensive end. This group has a goal of trying to be the best defensive team, to wear the Team Ontario jersey, and I think our focus, we were really keen on that in the first half, and then we kind of got a little undisciplined in the second half and let them get on a run a little bit. But it's good for us as a coaching staff. There's things that we can now go back and watch film and kind of highlight for them that we can clean up. This being the first game, moving on into later games, we want to have, as close to perfect as we can get.
Some of those later games, Team Alberta, Team BC, Pool A is a very aggressive pool. What's the message to your team heading into tomorrow in order to clean those things up and get an even bigger win?
Just that. Clean up what we have to clean up. We'll go watch film later on as a unit tonight. Pay attention to detail, and then just win your battles. Everybody has to take pride on the defensive end and what they're bringing to the table, energy-wise and effort-wise, and I think we'll be perfectly fine.
And is there anybody who performed today that might not show up on the box score as a standout but impressed you and the rest of the coaching staff?
Callum Smith, he was really big for us today. I think he was like plus 15 or 17, 15 points in about 15 minutes of play. So yeah, we're going to be looking for that from him on a game-to-game basis now, and just trying to keep raising the standard and the bar for these guys to keep matching every day.
Well, congratulations on the win. Best of luck tomorrow, Coach.
Thank you very much.
All right, Coach, you come away with a 100-84 victory, but you got outscored in the second half by 7 points. How can your team be better down the stretch in closing out games?
Through training camp, we asked the guys to list a word or two what was important to them, and one of them was discipline. So I think just for us to be disciplined in the second half and don't play the scores, play the game the right way, and we'll clean that up, and we'll be good to go the rest of the tournament.
Well, Callum Smith, Jacob Charles, great games. Who are you looking for further down the bench that might need to step up in a game where it's a little bit closer towards the end?
I think it's just our bench depth. We're confident in the group that we have. So guys that are coming in the game, they just have to know where the game is at and raise the level of the other guys they're taking out. And just for us there, we've said to them, hey, like, you guys got to step up, and they'll be better for it. They'll be better for it for sure.
There's a lot of aspects of this game. Upon looking on the footage, you might find some specifics that you need to change. But the sense on the team and the bench was that everybody was in every play involved. How important is that for the guys on the court, for all the guys on the bench to be that involved, emotionally connected to them on the court?
Just back to the words we use at training camp, but the biggest one was relentless, right? We're going to come at you in waves, and you guys got to be relentless and just keep playing, play for the guy next to you, right? And just ensure that when you come on the court, you know what's going on, be on the same page, and just do your job.
And when you make a list of things, both positive and negative, at the end of the game, it's easy to focus on the negative and how to get better. But what's the biggest takeaway positively from the first game on day one?
Just the connectivity of the guys. It's a really good group. We came together really well during training camp especially. But just the guys were just locked in, and even after the post-game talk, there's a lot of positivity, a lot of, hey, holding guys accountable. And that's on them, right? That's what they were saying, and it wasn't much about us talking. It was more letting them, because again, at the end of the day, they're on the court, right? And but I think just the connectivity of the guys is really solid.
Well, congratulations on the win. Get some rest. We'll see you tomorrow.
Perfect. Thank you so much. Appreciate it.
All right, here with Jordan Charles, player of the game, Team Ontario U17, beats Quebec 100-84. First of all, I want to ask you about your game. 33 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 9 steals. Have you ever had more steals than the other team combined?
No, never. I was in the gaps a lot, and they were making some bad passes. So, yeah, it's got 9 steals, a lot of steals.
I asked your coach about your willingness to make those risks. How do you go about assessing the risk factor of a steal situation and whether or not you should, in fact, go for the steal?
So my coach is trusting me, and I trusted myself to get the steal. So I'm just always in those gaps. And if I miss the steal, my teammates always got my back.
33 points. Tell me at what point in the game you knew you were going to have that kind of a game to come out with a statement win in game number 1 for Team Ontario.
Okay, so first quarter, I had like 3 shots, like some mid-ranges. And I'm like, okay, my jump shot's nice right now. So then second half, I just started shooting more, and it just started dropping.
Something that might get lost in this win in this stat line is 4 turnovers. How can you be more careful with the ball in your hands?
So I got my turnovers off long passes, like cross-court passes. Next game, coming into the game, I just got to watch my turnovers and watch the long passes.
Talk to me a little bit about the team game. You guys led by 30 at one point, only won by 16. How do you prevent any comebacks from teams that you're going to face in the future?
So we just got to keep our foot on the pedal, keep our foot on the pedal and just stay strong, stay hard, you know what I mean?
Callum Smith had a great game from that dunker spot. What did you see that he brought to today's game that allowed him to be so effective down low?
He brought a lot of energy to the game. He brought a lot of energy and just his passion for the game.
What's the sense among Team Ontario right now in terms of, you got one win out of the way, it was a 16-point win, but you got a lot of tough competition left. What's the sense amongst his team and the message going into tomorrow?
We're actually like nice, so teams cannot underestimate us, because a lot of teams underestimate us and then they're just gonna get blown out.
And what's the one thing that's keeping you guys grounded in that?
Our coaches are keeping us dedicated to the game, our passion to the game, and just, yeah.
That's it for me.
With the compressed schedule,
Wait, can you say it again?
With the compressed schedule and the number of games this week, how important is rest and recovery between games?
It's very important. You know, I always gotta hydrate, sleep. Sleep is a big thing because I actually have trouble sleeping, but I just gotta sleep more and I'm good.
Okay.
I think with a lot of teams that, especially with you in your position, where you guys have a team that's really stacked, a lot of times I think at least when you see the downfall of a team like that, is because of lack of focus. What was the message at halftime? Because you guys were up a lot, but at the same time, you guys still need to come out with a win. So what was the message at halftime from the coach and staff that made you guys finish the game strong?
So the message was just like keep our foot on the pedal, you know, just keep hitting them first and just finish hard. Like in the third quarter we kind of gave up, and then at the fourth quarter when we were talking over, like, yo, we cannot lose this game, it's gonna be bad. You know, we just gotta keep pushing. You know what I mean? Yeah.